and welcome to Family Arts and Crafts. So for today's craft, what we'll be making are no-sew pencil pouches out of felt. So look how cute these are. I know that everybody's gearing up for back to school. So they hold your pencils, and it's a no-sew method, so just stay tuned. Today's craft, what you will need is at least 30 inches of yarn or some type of string, some scissors, felt fabric. I'm using a Sharpie, but you can also use a fabric marking pen and a ruler. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to measure your piece of felt fabric 20 centimeters by 30 centimeters wide. So this piece of felt fabric is already actually 30 inches wide, so we just need to go ahead and measure the length. You get your ruler, and I would suggest a fabric marking pen just because it won't leave harsh marks on your fabric, but this is just for demonstration. So what I'm going to do, let me go ahead and mark the other side here. I'm going to cut this excess piece of fabric off. And I don't want a harsh line at the bottom of this, so I'm just gonna kind of eyeball, fold it a little bit, and kind of cut them amongst an imaginary line here. But of course you would probably want to make the line all the way across the fabric, but since I'm using the Sharpie, I just decided to kind of eyeball it. So there is your fabric. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to make the marks for where your pencils will be placed. So you want to make sure you at least measure 2 centimeters from the sides of your fabric, from the edges of your fabric, 2 centimeters, and about 5 centimeters from the bottom. So actually, let's go ahead and measure 5 centimeters from the bottom here. It's about 5 from the bottom and 5 from the top. And this is why I recommend a fabric pen. After that, you're going to measure, like I said, at least 2 centimeters from the edges from the start of your pencil marks here. And so I would suggest that you do at least 3 centimeters in between each pencil so they're not too close together. And if you do cut a little too wide, that the slit doesn't run into the next. So let's do 3 centimeters. Between each. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And this should hold about 8 pencils. And let's do the top. So 2 centimeters from the edges here. That's your start. Now we're going to measure 3 again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you should see they should line up with about the bottom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then for the piece, the part that's going to hold your, I'd say, pencil holder scroll together, you need to make sure we make slits at the bottom here that we can thread our yarn through. So at least 2 centimeters from the edges. Let me use this side. This is the mark here. I'll make a dot. And we want to kind of look at what the middle of our fabric will be. So this should be 20 inches. And we're going to do 9 and 11. So your mark should be at 9 and 11. if you're using starting from the 0 part on your centimeters side of your ruler. Okay, so the next part is we will just take scissors and start slitting, making slits through where our pencils will be placed on our holder here. So what I would do is I'd kind of fold along the slits here and just snip it with your scissors. Don't make your slits too wide, because the wider your slits are, the more your pencil will kind of slide. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to make slits through the fabric, and I will come back. So you should have all the slits that where your pencils should be placed on your fabric. So now we're just going to test it out and put our pencils through here. And you can use any number 2 pencils, color pencils. I haven't tried this with pens, but someone try it out and let us know how that works for you. Uh-oh. I keep putting them in there wrong. Okay, so now you have all your pencils through your fabric. You see that it holds them in place quite well. Then you get your string or your yarn that you have at home, and you thread it from the outside in and out where you made your 2 slits. Oops. There we go. So once you got your pencils and your yarn threaded, you're just going to roll it up. You bring one string to one side and the other string to meet, and just tie it. And there you have it. So you can decorate this. I kind of messed with the yarn when I was threading it through the bottom. So you can use threader beads and actually, you know, put beads on the end of your string here. I am going to actually decorate mine a little bit. I have some little pieces and some glue. This is optional. So you just glue this, and I'm using regular old school glue. So butterflies are nice and cute. Put this on the corner of my scroll. It doesn't matter if you're using glue because it dries clear, but and there you have it. So I hope you enjoyed today's fun Friday Family Arts and Crafts, and stay tuned for next week's activity.